Hi guys, welcome to Talking Strongman. I have a very special guest today. Every guest is special, but Mr. Gary Clarke has joined me. Gary is the original man that brought disabled strongman to the UK. I remember you coming down to train with me a number of times. It was always good fun. But you've really done a great job. And the reason I've got Gary on is it's the British Disabled Championships not this weekend, the following weekend.
This weekend, Laurence. It's Sunday.
So this weekend is the British Disabled Championships. How many times have we had this contest now?
This will be the sixth occasion, I believe, Laurence. Yes.
That's amazing. I mean, I remember coming down to the first couple, watching you compete, and, you know, there really wasn't too many athletes competing. Now you've got loads of guys, you've got different classes. It's getting more and more popular. And Gary is the man that brought it to the UK. So I want to hear your story, Gary, because I know you've done a lot to help promote the sport. I've been to a lot of the events that you've been at, doing your exhibitions. You've been on TV. What got you interested in strongman firstly? And how did you go from, watching strongman on TV to thinking, sod this, I don't want to just watch, I want to compete as well?
It's a funny story because I was obviously grew up watching strongman. I'm 44 now, so I can remember the guys like Kazmaier, I can remember Jeff Capes, I can remember Sigmarsson. And I actually said to my nan when I was younger, I said, one day I'll be doing this. And she kind of laughed. But she's looking down at me now and she's not laughing anymore because I'm actually doing it now, which is like a dream come true. And I was doing powerlifting for GB prior to strongman.
Yeah.
And I heard about a competition. It was through Gemma Magnuson actually told me about it. And I've got to give this a try. So I emailed Anna Johnson, the founder of Disabled Strongman, and he said, yeah, come on over. So I went on over in 2011, I think was my first Worlds. And the rest is history. And I was doing a degree at the time. So I managed to finish my degree in sports coaching. And then I thought, well, finally, we've got to set something up in the UK. And with Arno and Magnus's blessing, it was the first Britain's Disabled Strongman competition in 2015, Stoke-on-Trent.
I remember that was the one I came to, I think. It was...
yes, you did. And Auntie Liz as well. She came as well.
Yeah, and it was just amazing watching these athletes because, when you coach, people always think, there's a certain way to do something. And when you coach a disabled athlete, the textbook goes out the window because
it does.
You have to work.
Everyone's different.
Exactly. And you've got to work around things and work around your own abilities. And I mean, we've had a number of sessions before and it was always great. I remember getting you strapped up to my pickup truck at the time. And
yes, well, that was the first ever session, Loz.
Yeah, that was your first strongman session, wasn't it? And
yeah.
We were trying to get you doing, just figuring out what we could and what we couldn't do.
Yes.
Gary, I mean, you've got cerebral palsy, haven't you?
I have, yes, that's correct.
So Gary struggles a bit with walking and stuff like that, but he's got these sticks. We strapped him up to my truck with his 2 sticks. He's there in the harness, pulling away, pushing with his legs, using his sticks to drive this truck. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved watching it. It was just so inspirational. And, I then came to watch the competition and all the guys were brilliant. Just watching the determination in their faces, I saw guys get injured and they brushed it off. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was doing the stones.
That was Darren Stafford.
Yeah, Darren was doing Atlas stones, and the way you guys do them. So for people that haven't seen, just quickly, rather than lifting the stones like we would from the floor up to a platform, the guys lift them from one platform across to another.
Yeah, that's the seated classes. Yeah.
Darren was lifting. I mean, you guys lift some heavy stones as well. It's impressive stuff that you do.
Yeah, the weights in the sport have really gone up for us, Laurence. In some classes. I'll give you an example. For the Britons on the weekend, the top seated guys and the top standing guys got to 140 Atlas stone.
That's incredible. I mean, it just shows growth and the popularity of the sport in general, not just the open level, but we see it in the lighter weight classes. There's more lifters, more people improving, and the disabled categories as well. But this Darren guy, I want to go back to this story because it was like you don't see this in the open level or like the able body categories, if you like. He lifted this stone and it crushed his hand. And I mean crushed it. And I've never seen a swelling come up this fast on someone before.
It was literally seconds, wasn't it? I remember.
Seconds, his hand went from being normal to just being exploded and kind of swollen.
Yeah.
Grim. And he just kept going, went through the stones. I was like, how the hell did you do that? He's like, that's nothing. First off, he didn't care about the pain. He was just focused on getting through the event. There was no whinging from anyone. It was just everyone giving 100%, trying to do the best that they could. And it was inspirational for me to sit there and watch, just because you guys do some incredible things.
The thing is, Laurence, as well, you know this as well. I mean, the weights are heavy. It isn't a tokenism thing at all. It's hard and it's heavy. It's growing every year, and that's how we want it, because we don't want it to be airy fairy. Otherwise it wouldn't have the same impact.
Well, is it Martin Ty? I don't know. Does Martin Ty still have the seated deadlift world record?
I believe he. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he only recently just lost that, but not by a very.
Well, that's incredible if he's been beaten, because I think Martin did 500 or slightly over.
Martin did 550 at the Arnold's. That was just before COVID, and I was there watching it. It's a phenomenal lift.
And it people say it's not a deadlift. No, it's not a deadlift, because it's a different type of lift, but it's still 500 kilos of weight.
Yeah, through your body. To have that weight in your hands, going through your system, it's a phenomenal lift. It's one of the things that I remember for the rest of my life, certainly.
You've been, this is your baby, isn't it? The British Disabled Championships.
It is, Laurence. Yes, it is. I've thought about the idea of bringing the sport to the UK, and it's grown year on year, and the athletes, they've always been phenomenal, but just, they get better and better every year. It's hard to describe the emotion, really, because it's been in the making in my head for so long that it's just nice to see it come to fruition. And every year, I'm sure you'll understand, you've organised comps, but every year it's hard work organising competitions. But when you see the guys come together and on the platform doing what they do best, it brings a lump to you, and it brings a tear to your eye. But it's my pleasure to be involved every year. It really is. And once again, thanks to Arnar for creating the sport all those years ago in Iceland.
Yeah, the Icelanders were the first to do it, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I think Arnar started the sport back in the mid 90s, at least doing some things with the guys. He was powerlifting coach for the disabled guys in Iceland, and he got bored one day, so they took them out pulling his car, and they managed to sort of version out of doing. I'm doing that. I'm mimicking the movement as I go along. It's been ingrained in me for so long, Laurence.
Yeah.
But, that's where it started, and that's the origins of the sport. I'm just happy to bring it to the UK and carry that on over here.
Do you have Magnus Magnuson coming over to referee?
Yeah, Magnus is coming straight from Leeds Saturday night, shipped down to us.
He's heavily involved with it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been a help over the years, and we're good friends, and it's quite surreal being friends with your sporting idol, But it's almost like family now, Laurence.
No, we love Magnus. Every time we see him, we'll always have a good old chinwag with him.
It's just a great atmosphere to be in, Magnus and Arnar. Going to Iceland is another dimension because it's so surreal over there,
So how many categories are there now? Because I know originally it was just one category, and it's evolved since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's actually 7 categories now.
Okay, cool.
So I'm in the men's seated class 2 for people with neurological disabilities, and then we have the men's seated class 1. We have the men's standing class 1 as well, and then we have the ladies' seated class and standing class. So yeah, there's a few classes now.
Do you have a ladies' class competing this weekend?
Yes, we do. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Is this the first time, or have you done it before?
No, we've done in this. I think it was the third Brits that ladies started to become involved in the sport. I may be wrong on that. I'm being 44 now. My memory's a bit shot, but
it's not that bad. I know you're.
The ladies are phenomenal. All the guys are phenomenal. It's my pleasure to put a platform out for them. It really is.
I've met a number of the guys that do it. I haven't had the chance to meet too many of the ladies yet, but I've met and trained with a number of the gents, and they are seriously strong athletes.
Yeah, I know you're training with Dave Walsh at the minute, aren't you?
Well, I coach Dave Walsh, yeah, and
Yeah,
I think he, he's I love coaching, him, because it makes me have to think outside the box in terms of being a coach, and just the different type of challenges that you guys do as well. I mean, let's talk about the events that you've got for this weekend, just so people can, people that haven't seen it before know what to expect. What are the 5 events? Is it 5 or 6 events?
It's 5 events, Laurence. It's
5 events.
We start off with a max log. So every competitor gets 3 lifts. Then we've got the front hold.
Just before we move on, Gary, I just want to. How does every class do it the same? Are they all in a chair? What's the ruling?
The seated class obviously do it like on an inclined bench. So we're normally 75 degrees, I believe, that we use, because we follow what the worlds do. Because obviously the Brits is a qualifier for the world, so everything needs to follow in sequence, so to speak. So the seated guys do it on a 75-degree bench. The standing guys do it as you would.
Okay.
So yeah, it's max log. Then we've got front hold. Then we have the giant dumbbell.
Cool.
I'm mimicking the movements again. Sorry,
that's what we want to see. I want to see
you mimicking the movements. It's force I have it. Then we've got the axle deadlift for reps.
Yep.
And then we have to end the competition, we have a stone medley. And when I say stone medley, I mean a mixture of atlas stones and natural stones.
Oh, cool. So you're mixing it up.
Mixing it up a bit. Yeah, mixing it up this year, yeah.
And what did you say the heaviest one they're going up to is 140?
The heaviest one is 140 on this occasion, yes.
And do mimic the action for me on the stones.
No, it's not that way with natural stones, because obviously you know this. You've got to find a grip, and it's no different for people with disabilities. It's all the same thing. We've got to, a natural stone's like a puzzle, isn't it? You've got to find
figuring out the balance point and
the balance. Yeah. It's not meant to be lifted, is it? A barbell is. So
has no one had the chance to use these natural stones?
No, they're sitting up at the venue, all nice and pretty, ready and waiting for Sunday, Loss.
Excellent. So where is this event? Where can people come to watch it?
Holyrood Academy in Chard in Somerset.
Okay.
So it's basically a school, but we've got the main hall, so we've got tiered seating. We've got a big screen for the live feed, and I'll be doing commentary because I'm not competing this year, but we'll go on to that in a minute. And then we've got a small screen for the live scoreboard all the time.
Brilliant.
So it's going to be the venue looks epic. It's a few more finishing touches, and it'll look really good. So
I'm up in Leeds this weekend, so unfortunately I can't come down to watch. I'm up at Europe's, but you said there's a live feed as well. You're going to be putting out for people.
I'm going to put out a live feed. Yeah, we've got a very good camera guy, Jonathan, who's coming in to film it. So that's going out live on YouTube with me doing the commentary. So I've got to be on the game, I think, Ross.
You best be on your game, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So you said you're not competing this year. Is this the first time you haven't competed?
It's the first time I've not competed in the Brits. Yes. Yeah, I was in hospital. I had cellulitis on my leg, so that's healing up now. So we'll be back for the Arnold's UK in October, all being well.
You're back training hard now?
I will be back training after the show. Yes. Good
stuff. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot now as the promoter. Who are some of the guys and girls we should be looking out for this weekend?
I think Martin Ty and Darren Greenfield will have a good battle in the seated class 1. Yeah. There's a few new ones, so they might throw a spanner in the works. Seated class 2, probably Tony Butcher. I'll have a good little battle, but there's a few new ones as well. So with new athletes, as you know, Laurence, you never know what they're going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
You never know. It's so exciting. It's almost like, well, it is. It's 7 competitions in one.
Yeah.
When you consider the classes and different things, Do
you know approximately how many athletes you've got competing?
With me, it was 30. So we've got 28, I think, altogether, because I've dropped out myself. And then there's another guy that's dropped out, but 28 compared to, I think, the first Britons, we had 10. And that was just one class then.
That's amazing, really, isn't it, to see that growth?
Yeah, I'm proud of how it's come, but obviously it was in the beginning, like you said, with Magnus on the other day, it was just me, but now it's 30 guys all shouting about it on social media. We've got some good plugs. I spoke to Kaz the other day on the phone, and he gave me a good plug, so that was good. Yeah,
I saw the Kaz video. That was great.
No, absolutely, yeah. He's been as supportive. I spoke to him the other day, so he gave us a plug. That was good. So yeah, so it's going to be great, Laurence. I mean, I'm nervous for the guys, because I think it'll be a good, interesting battle this year. It's certainly going to be the best battle we've ever had, I think.
No, I look forward to seeing it, mate. It sounds really exciting. Obviously, I've been training Dave, so I'm going to be standing, looking out for how he does, and he's looking good, to be honest. I think he can challenge a lot of the guys, but it's going to be an amazing show. What's your goals with it? How big do you think it can get? Where do you want to take the disabled side of the sport?
That's a tricky question, really, isn't it? It all depends on how many athletes come forward, really, because it's only as big as the athletes you've got, I believe. There's no point doing a big show for 5 athletes. But as you've seen over the years, the athletes are coming forward now and more recognition. For instance, I want to say thank you for having me on this evening, because it's a big platform and it gives me the opportunity to talk more about disabled strongman, and more people see us. And the more guys that do this, the more it gets out there, And that's when big sponsors come on board and we can put on bigger shows.
Be amazing to see it keep growing. You might be at a Giants Live one day or something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
Inside, indoor arenas with thousands of people. That would be, how cool would that be?
If I'm still around, then Laurence, we'll do that.
So you personally, what's been your biggest achievements over the years? I mean, I remember when you were doing powerlifting, you got into the strongman side of things. What's been the biggest achievements for you, both in terms of competition? I know, putting on these shows are a huge achievement for you. I know how proud you are of them. But
I am very proud, and I know people get fed up with me badgering on about it, but it's me and people like me, all the other guys as well, chatting about it and making people more aware of it, because that's the only way it's going to get out there. Yeah. And I think social media is a big platform for that, and guys like yourself and Kaz and different people that have given us shout outs to them, and a lot of people see these things, so it makes it come together,
Definitely.
It's just brilliant. I'm honoured and privileged to be every second I'm involved with the sport.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant, and for example, in lockdown, I managed to teach myself to weld, and I'm actually making stones as well, so I can make kit, believe it or not. So that all kind of feeds back.
You're really good at like welding fabrication now.
I'm getting there, Laurence. Some days I have a bit of an off day and I got a bit of a shaky hand going on, But
how long have you been doing that for? So you're making a lot of your own kit now?
Yeah, I think since I started, I made about 15 deadlift seats for people. I mean, the phone that I've got, my phone that is actually sat on one of my deadlift seats at the moment. So I use it for a table indoors.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, maybe the phone's not a huge weight, so it's good that job it's taking that. But you have to support the weight of the athlete plus the weight that they are lifting. And we're talking 500 kilo plus.
Yeah, well, I'm actually making a seat for Martin Ty at the minute. So, I know it's going to hold the weight, because Dave Walsh has had, I think, 400 kilos through one of my seats. So I know I must be doing something right, eh?
Not bad, mate. Not bad at all. That's brilliant. So just, go back to that question. What's your biggest achievement in terms of your actual strongman career, that, your performances?
My performances, that's a hard one to call, because with cerebral palsy, you never quite know what day you're going to have.
Sure. Tell us about that. I mean, how is it with cerebral palsy being an athlete? Because it's not like, the rest of us you pretty much know how you're going to feel. I mean, there's always variables, but you can just have certain days where things just aren't firing, can't you?
Yeah, it's all about the messages from the brain to the muscles. So there's some days you're not firing. Other days, I'm on fire, It's like back in, I think, first lockdown in May, I did a stone challenge for the NHS. I did 300 reps on a 60 kilo at the stone in 5 days. So that's one of my proudest achievements in strongman, to raise £1,300 for charity. I'm very proud of that. It's a small amount, but it all helps, very
Absolutely.
proud of it.
Well, Gary, I know you've done a lot for charity, a lot of different events, and
little bits and pieces, but other people do as well. You know, I'm not going to say that I do a lot of great work for charity.
Absolutely,
Don't want to talk about
but this is other people do, and that there is no doubt about that. You know, but this is your moment, Gary. I want you to have a little bit of limelight because you have done a lot and you deserve it.
Nice, thank you, Laurence. You know, I'm just proud to be able to put on a good show for good athletes. I mean, these athletes are phenomenal now. I mean, you've seen, but you haven't seen later shows. You know, hopefully you can come to the next one because it really has gone up several notches since the first one, Loz.
I'd absolutely love to, buddy. As soon as we can get a free date. The problem is just everything clashes, especially this year.
Yeah.
But I will. I promise you, I'll be watching the live stream.
Yeah, brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Very quickly before we go, where can people find you and find out more about the disabled side of the Strongman?
I'm on Instagram, Strongman Gary. And I'm on Facebook, Gary Clarke, obviously. You can contact my Johnson on Facebook. Contact anyone of our athletes, they'll tell you about Strongman. I'm happy to take questions and messages from people, and you know, so I'm just happy to get people involved in the sport because I think it's fantastic. And once again, credit to Arnaud Johnson all those years ago for starting it up in Iceland, because without him, it wouldn't be here. So yeah, but I'm just privileged and honoured to set a platform for people, Laurence, you know?
Fantastic, mate. Well, it's been great chatting to you. I look forward to us getting a training session together soon because we've had
we will do that too. Yes.
A couple of years, hasn't it? So it's
been a while, yeah.
We need to catch up. But if anyone is interested in watching the British Disabled Championships, it's this weekend in Chard?
In Chard in Somerset, yes.
There we go. And we will
Academy.
Put a link down below where people can get a bit more information. And if you guys are in the area and want to go and watch the guys, it's going to be an epic event.
Yeah, you can get tickets from eventbrite.com.
Cool. I'll get Liz to put a link in there so people can go.
Brilliant. I'll send you the link. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Gary. Take it easy, mate.
Fantastic. Thank you, Laurence.
While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.